Yes, now it's Fox News senior judicial analyst. You heard his laugh before. Judge Anna Napolitano.
I was laughing at the Cheetos.
Yes,
but
this is no laughing matter, obviously. No. She might not have been indicted, but she clearly, with that private server, compromised top secret classified information. Should she be given this clearance to have this to get intelligence briefings?
Well, the decision is entirely up to the president, and every president has done this since Harry Truman in 1952 rationalized that, you know, Dwight Eisenhower may be the president of Columbia University, but a few years ago he was the supreme Allied commander in Europe. He understands classified secrets, so I'll tell him what's going on, and to be fair, I'll also tell this senator from Illinois, Adlai Stevenson, who's running against him. And every 4 years since then, without giving it a second thought, the incumbent president has authorized the intelligence community to brief either his opponent, if he was running for re-election, or the two people running to succeed him. But we have never had a candidate like Mrs. Clinton, who has been found by the FBI to have been extremely careless, same as gross negligence, which is the standard for prosecution, on 110 occasions involving dozens and dozens of state secrets, at least 24 of which were in the category of top secret, at least 5 of which were so secret that the FBI agents investigating her lacked the clearance to look at them. We also know that as a result of her extreme carelessness, that she sent these materials to people who had no security clearance, and they were hacked by the Russians, the Chinese, and our friends, the Israelis. So is President Obama going to take that into account? Absolutely not. Should the American voters take that into account? Of course they should.
In light of everything you just said there, isn't it absolutely insulting that Harry Reid suggested that they withhold these intelligence briefings from Donald Trump, who has never compromised classified information in his entire life?
You know, there's some angst in the intelligence community against Donald Trump because of his overtures to be friendly with Vladimir Putin. And I suggest that that is political angst, that the intelligence community should keep politics out of it. He has as much right to the same briefing that Mrs. Clinton would get as any other person would. And you are correct, Harlan. She has a demonstrable record of lying under oath about this and of being absolutely reckless with American secrets. I don't know that he's ever had secrets reposed in his hands that the government requires him to keep to himself.
That was political deflection on behalf of Harry Reid and nothing more, trying to, again, turn the focus away from Hillary Clinton and her own problems. I want to bring up that Director Comey, this is the FBI Director Comey, Hillary Clinton in that sit-down with Chris Wallace, said, Director Comey said my answers were truthful. And what I've said is consistent with what I've told the American people, that they were decisions discussed and made to classify retroactively certain of the emails. Comey never said any such thing, and she got 4 Pinocchios from the Washington Post.
Correct. And as I read the answer she gave Chris, which you just quoted precisely, she's basically saying, I've been lying all along. I've always been consistent. So, when she says, I neither sent nor received items that were marked classified, that is technically true because nothing is marked classified. The markings are confidential, secret, or top secret. And Director Comey was crystal clear on the number of emails she sent and received and continued to regenerate that were secret and top secret.
Judge, isn't there also the situation, too, where Comey didn't even look into her congressional testimony talking about it, so she could have actually lied under oath, and they could have used that against her, but he just backed off and said, we didn't ask for that.
Great question, Kevin. That has been referred to the Justice Department for a criminal investigation. And the issue is not did she lie under oath because she gave that technically precise answer. It's a Roger Clemens case. Roger Clemens was indicted not for lying but for misleading the Congress. Did she mislead the Congress? Yes. He misled the Congress was accused of misleading the Congress about the contents of his blood and his urine. She misled the Congress about her behavior as Secretary of State dealing with the nation's secrets.
That's a political football. She's now a presidential candidate. So for the Congress at this point, so late in the game, close to November, to go after her, I think that's dangerous, frankly. That's my opinion.
The other side of that would be, if there's evidence of a felony here, it would be dangerous for us not to pursue it just because she's running for office. But look, Cheryl, to your comment, the same people that decided not to prosecute her for the email scandal in the face of all the evidence against her will be the ones who will decide whether or not to prosecute or not. They're not going to prosecute somebody in the middle of a political campaign.
Well,
right.
When she said in this comment, Director Comey said my answers were truthful. Well, maybe she's talking about the interview that she gave to the FBI where maybe she told the truth, because there's no transcript of that interview that was done the Saturday before Comey came out and said we're not going to press charges.
The evidence of her failure to maintain securely state secrets, which is called espionage, is unambiguous and overwhelming. Any one of us, anybody in the military, anybody in the CIA who had done a small fraction of what she did would have been indicted.
Well, it's also her aides, too. Her aides had access. You had Sid Blumenthal, who actually the government didn't want working at the State Department or being an advisor to her. So
well, Blumenthal is very problematic, Kevin, because Mrs. Clinton wanted Blumenthal to be her senior advisor. The president, who had been victimized by Blumenthal during the campaign, said, no way is this executive branch hiring him. So who hired him? The Clinton Foundation. Yep. And did she continue to give him secrets? Yes. And did he have a security to receive secrets? No. Every time she sent him something that was a state secret, she committed a felony. And then when it was on his server, it was hacked there very easily. That's what Guccifer hacked. He didn't hack Mrs. Clinton directly. He hacked the information she sent to Sid Blumenthal.
And no mention of that Clinton Foundation at the DNC last week. All the good works that it did.
No, that stuff's coming. That's another FBI investigation. But again, are they going to pop that up in the middle of a campaign?
No, because there's not a convenient tarmac for them to meet at where Bill Clinton can be like, hold on, I really need to talk to you about your grandkids.
Bigger picture. There's a wink and a nod and a nudge down in D.C. that you don't go after somebody so close to the election, regardless of what crimes they committed.
There's actually a Justice Department rule that unless it's a crime of violence, you do not go after someone who's running for office within 90 days of election. We are 99 days shy of the election today. Are they going to go after her in the next week and a half? I don't think so.
No. Judge Napolitano, it was great to see
Pleasure,
you. Andrew Napolitano.
All the best.